Alright guys, we're officially a quarter through 2023 and you still haven't started that programming course you promised would get you that dream coding job you've always wanted. What's going on? Are you sick? Have you forgotten? Or are you just lazy?
You got me.
Well, if you click this video, then the will to start that engine back up again has begun, but this time you have me, a self-taught software developer, to guide you to exactly what you need to get this year going in the direction you want it to. What better way than to use one of the easiest languages to learn, which is Python. With this video, I'll give you exactly what you need to cover the backend portion of web development to get you a job as soon as possible. Even during these massive tech layoffs, this industry is still better off than most others, honestly, unless we all get replaced by AI. But ignoring all that for now, let's just get into the video. The first thing you need to learn are the basics of Python. But you're probably asking, why use Python for your web backend? Python is a versatile, high-level programming language that's widely used in the web development field due to its readability, simplicity, and vast ecosystem. As a backend developer, you'll be working with server-side logic, managing databases, and ensuring seamless communication between the front end and the back end. Python makes it easy to accomplish these tasks thanks to its extensive library support and a variety of web frameworks like Django that we're going to be learning in this roadmap. Now, so let's go over some essential Python concepts that you need to grasp as a backend web developer. Number 1, data types. In Python, you'll work with various data types such as integers, floats, strings, lists, tuples, and dictionaries. Understanding these data types and their usage will help you efficiently store, manipulate, and exchange data in your web application. Number 2, control structures. Python provides a control structure like if-else statements, for loops, and while loops to help you manage the flow of your code. Managing these structures will allow you to implement complex logic and handle different scenarios in your application. Number 3, functions. Functions are reusable blocks of code that can be called with specific inputs to produce outputs. Learning how to define and use functions in Python will enable you to create modular, maintainable code and avoid repeating yourself. Number 4, classes and modules. Python supports object-oriented programming, which means you can create classes to define custom data structures and their behaviors. Understanding classes and objects and inheritance will help you design robust web applications with clear, organized code, and you can use modules to organize your code into a separate file, making it much easier to maintain and reuse. Now that we've covered the importance of Python and its essential concepts, let's dive into Django framework, a powerful tool for backend web development. Django is a high-level, comprehensive web framework that allows you to develop web applications quickly and efficiently. It follows the batteries included philosophy, providing a wide range of built-in features and components that make it easy to create scalable, secure, and maintainable web applications. Some of Django's advantages include its robust ORM, built-in admin interface, and strong community support. Now, I realize you may not even know what ORM is. So ORM stands for Object Relational Mapping, which is the programming technique used in software development to facilitate interaction between an application's object-oriented programming code and relational databases. It allows developers to work with databases using the same object-oriented principle concepts they use in their application code, such as objects, classes, and inheritance, which we learned previously, rather than writing raw SQL queries. We'll be getting into in just a bit. Django primarily serves as the backend for web applications, handling server-side logic, data modeling, and database operations. It can also be used to create RESTful APIs using Django's REST framework, which enables the front end of your application, such as React or Angular, to communicate with the backend and to access the necessary data. To get started with Django, you'll set up a Django environment. First, install Django using pip, which is Python's package manager. Once installed, you can use the Django admin command to create a new project. A project is a collection of configurations and apps which are smaller components of the project basically. Django follows the model view template, MVT, architectural pattern, which is similar to the model view controller, MVC pattern in other frameworks. In MVT, the model represents the data structure, the view defines how the data is displayed, and the template determines the structure and layout of the HTML. Understanding this architecture will allow you to build well-organized web applications. Now let's talk about Django's view, URL routing, and handling HTTP requests. In Django, a view is a Python function that takes an HTTP request and returns an HTTP response. You can create a view for different parts of your web application, such as displaying the list of items or processing the form data. To associate a view with a specific URL, URL, you need to configure URL routing. By creating a URL pattern in the app's url.py file, Django will then map incoming HTTP requests to the appropriate view based on the URL. Now let's dive into the thrilling world of PostgreSQL, a powerful open source relational database system that will supercharge your web application. No, I'm not sponsored by these guys. PostgreSQL, also known as Postgres, is an advanced enterprise class database system known for its robustness, scalability, and performance. It features rich, offering numerous data types, index options, and full text search capabilities. To begin, you'll need to set up a PostgreSQL server. You can do this by installing Postgres software on your local machine, a remote server, or even using a cloud-based service. Once you have that installed, you'll use tools like PSQL or graphical user interfaces such as pgadmin, which is I personally use, to manage your databases and tables. Now let's talk about some fundamental SQL queries that will actually allow you to interact with your PostgreSQL database like a pro. The first one is select. This query is used to retrieve data from one or more tables in your database. You can specify conditions, order the results, and even aggregate data, giving you the flexibility to fetch exactly the information you need. Now for insert. If you're ready to add new data to your database, the insert query lets you do just that, allowing you to insert one or multiple rows into a table with ease. Now, what if you want to update your information? The update query enables you to change the values of specific columns in a table based on certain conditions. Now, what if you want to get rid of some data? So the delete query is also your friend, helping you remove rows from a table that meet specific criteria. So as you can see, PostgreSQL is a great way to organize the data you want and make it easy to retrieve data the way you want and modify it very easily. You've learned about Python, Django, and PostgreSQL. Now it's time to bring them all together and create a powerful RESTful API. Django's REST framework is a flexible and feature-rich toolkit that simplifies the process of building and maintaining the RESTful APIs. It provides powerful tools such as serializers, views, and routes that make it easy to design and implement and manage your APIs in your Django application. To get started with building a RESTful API, you'll need to design your API's endpoints and data structures. Think about resources you want to expose and the operations you want to support, such as creating, reading, updating, or deleting. Once you've planned your API, you can use Django's REST framework tools to implement your API endpoint. User authentication and authorization are crucial aspects of your API, and Django's REST framework makes it easy to handle these concerns as well. You can choose from various authentication methods such as token-based authentication or OAuth 2 to ensure that only authorized users can access your API's resources. Now let's talk about integrating Django's ORM and PostgreSQL for data storage and retrieval. By using Django's ORM, you can effortlessly store and retrieve data from PostgreSQL's database while interacting with databases using Python objects and methods. This seamless integration allows you to focus on your application logic rather than dealing with the raw SQL queries like I mentioned before. Also, error handling is very important for a robust and reliable API. Django's REST framework provides built-in tools for handling errors and validating input data, ensuring that your API remains stable and secure. Additionally, you follow best practices for API development, such as using consistent name conventions, versioning your API. So like if you have two different customers, each one may need a required API version that you have. And it's really important to document your endpoints. Alright, well, learning something new isn't easy. So trust me, no one is an expert right off the bat. If you're willing to change your life for the better, then you also have to commit to something for a long enough time period, or else you won't deserve the benefits that come with it. So just do your best, and hopefully I can continue to help you along the way. If you're interested in the more front-end aspect of things, click on the video to my right, but if you want to learn about my journey, hit the video to my left. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.